This is Pod Populi, podcast for the people. Hi, and welcome to Swedes on the Loose. Did we say that last time?
We did. And I think I cut you off, and then you introduced me and I introduced you.
And then I cut you off, and then you cut me off. Well, that sounds just like another day.
Oh, just like normal. Hi, Sandra. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Christina. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's been a bit of a week, but it's life goes on. And today we're talking about me, so I'm all excited.
Yes, it's you day.
About myself. It's me day.
it's all about Christina.
Oh my God. Well, no, not really, but it's just I think we're doing this just so that people can understand who the heck we are, kind of, and where we are today, why we are today, and just to who the hell are we? Who are the Swedes on the Loose? And you've done your part, and here I am. So.
Yeah, I've done my part for society. Yeah, I've done my part for society. What have you done?
You're so funny. I keep trying to do things for society every single day. So
yes, you do.
My darling husband said to me the other day, I have to tell you this. It was really cute because I was doing something for this elderly gentleman who I am completely enamored by. I mean, he's just 84, strong as an ox, little tiny. He looks like a jockey.
What's his name?
Mike. Mike the veterinarian. Mike the vet.
Oh, he's a vet?
He's a vet. I know. Small animal vet, but he is, oh gosh, he is just so awesome.
Okay.
Dr. T. Anyway, I was doing some stuff for him, and Jeff says to me, he goes, "You're earning your angel wings." Oh, I thought that was so sweet. You're earning your angel wings. I just thought that was so sweet.
That is sweet, but it doesn't really land with me because that's what they would all, I don't know. Okay.
What? What does that mean?
No, that's just like, that was just like another way to say, I don't know. This is from the children's hospital when like the child didn't make it. They just earned their angel wings.
Oh no. So it has a totally different meaning.
Yeah.
To you.
That means something completely different. No. I know. I'm like, okay.
Wow. Isn't it crazy though that something can resonate with someone so positively with, like, for me?
Yeah.
And that totally just threw you off on a loop for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, in a way, Jeff meant it in a positive way. I will go to heaven in a positive way. I won't go to hell.
You're collecting karma points. Yeah.
I actually have a funny story about that, but with the whole heaven and hell thing, since we're talking about heaven and hell here for a second. So many years ago when I was working for Roberts, your current employer, we were always joking. He goes, "Well, Christina, you can't go to heaven." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? Of course I'm going to go to heaven." He goes, "No, you have to go to hell. You have to take care of me."
Stop.
And I thought,
he's too
point
funny.
taken. Point taken. I know, he's being very funny. Anyway, well,
you have access. You have access everywhere.
What's that?
You'll have access everywhere. You'll
yes, there you go.
Like backstage.
I'm an all-arounder. Yeah. There you go. I'm an all-arounder. But anyway, so I am born and raised in Sweden in a little town called Skanör, which is in the very, very south of Sweden. So it's kind of like a country bumpkin town, but more like a beach town. In the summer, it's bustling, and in the winter, you can walk for 4 hours and not meet a single person.
Sounds lovely.
It's fantastic. It's amazing. So I grew up there with the best parents in the entire universe, in my opinion, and with a big brother, and grew up with lots of friends, lots of family, lots of animals. I was always rescuing animals. It was dogs, cats, ladybugs, slugs, snails, whatever it was. I was kind of like a Dr. Dolittle / Dennis the Menace because I was a terror. I was the last child, and my mother was, my grandma always used to tell her, "You need to spank Christina more." And my mom said, if I did that, I would have to quit my day job. So I was a bit of a Dennis the Menace, but I was never evil. I was always just mischievous, I guess the word is. But I grew up there and kind of was always the nanny of the block or babysitter for the block, and always took care of kids and animals. And so the most natural thing for me when I graduated high school, I moved to the United States, to Santa Barbara, California, as an au pair, where my darling godfather, Bruce, got me a job with that's actually not true. I didn't move to Santa Barbara. I moved to Palos Verdes, and I was living in a trailer, trailer, I guess you can call it, in Rancho Palos Verdes as a nanny. And so I actually worked for Bruce's godchildren there too. And I was there for 6 months or so. It was not a good situation. And then moved back home to Sweden for a bit, and then found another family, moved back. And then I was in Palos Verdes, California. So fancy. And I was with that family for almost 2 years, and I loved it. The Varens, they're the most incredible.
An American family?
American family, okay. Yep, with 3 kids, 7, 11, and 13. And it was amazing. And just became really close to them and worked there. And then I thought, after 2 years, I thought, well, I'm old enough to become an adult. And I thought, maybe I should have a real job. So I moved back to Sweden and was in Sweden for a bit, and then moved to Malmö, the big city, and got myself a job. And I was doing marketing research, basically talking to people, which I don't have a problem with. So I was talking 24/7 and getting paid for it and doing marketing research, which was fun. And then back again being, thinking, okay, you need to be an adult. So I thought, well, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go back to school. So I applied for hotel management school in Switzerland, in the German-speaking Switzerland. And it was an Swiss-American hotel management school. So all the classes were in English, and it was run by an American couple, but it was in Switzerland. And so I went to Parpan, which is a tiny little town. It was basically 100 students and 500 cows, basically. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was lovely. And so I went to school there. And then after probably, a couple months or so, I met Claudio, which was at the time was my ex-husband. He became my husband. And I met him, and then I did my hotel apprenticeship with a couple of different hotels in Zurich. And then, as you know, when you go to school in Switzerland, you have a student visa. And as soon as your student visa is up, the Swiss government knows exactly where you are.
Yeah.
They know exactly where you are, how long you're staying. So they basically, not literally, but they basically kind of knocked on my door saying, when are you going home? Because your visa is up. So Claudia looked at me and goes, well, I guess we're getting married. And I said, okay, I guess we're getting married. So we got married, and I got to stay. And then I worked in the hotel industry for quite a few years.
Was he Swiss, Claudio?
He was Swiss.
Yeah.
Yep. He is Swiss.
He is. Sorry. Yeah.
Yep. He is Swiss and lives in Zurich still. And one of the cool things in Zurich was really neat. I got to help open a hotel, a leading hotels of the world hotel called the Widder, which is it's a ram. If you translate it, it's the big goat with the curly horns. That's their logo. And it was a beautiful hotel, and it was just amazing. And then me and Claudio didn't get along anymore, and it was just a shit show. And I happened to meet this wonderful couple, British couple, that fell in love with me and offered me a job in England. So I moved from Switzerland to England and worked as their guest relations manager, I guess you can call it. They actually it was really cool, actually. They created a position for me because they wanted me so badly, which was the best compliment ever. I mean, it was so flattering. And so all I did was making sure that all our VIP guests because it was, again, it's a leading hotels of the world. Beautiful. And it was in New Hampshire. So it was New Forest. So we had wild ponies all around, beautiful settings, close to the beach, close to Bournemouth, so south of England. And I had a great time. I mean, I loved every minute of it. But then something went awry, didn't work. And then, I got fired. And so then I moved back to Sweden. And in that whole process, because I left Switzerland, we did get divorced, me and Claudio. We divorced on good terms. It wasn't bad. And I'm still friends with him today. And it's many, many years later. And then moved back to Sweden. I thought, what am I going to do? I have no idea. And then, like we were talking to the previous or our first guest today, we just pre-recorded one episode here with Cecilia about Swedes in the world, and I was just telling her that I had to get back into the system to be able to collect unemployment and find another job or whatever it was. So I lived in Sweden for 6 months and went to, it was at the time, it was called Datorteket, which is basically computer classes to learn about computers and the internet and everything like that. And you had to do that Monday through Friday through the unemployment agency. And it was, oh my God, it was the worst. It was horrible. But anyway, I did that. And then I took the Relais Chateau, Leading Hotels of the Leading Hotels of the World book. And I thought, oh, where do I want to work in the world? So I just flipped around and then found a hotel on the beach somewhere in, I don't know, Guadalupe or Kuala Lumpur or wherever the hell it was. And I just sent my resume out. So I probably sent out like 200 resumes and got a response from a hotel in Santa Barbara, California, San Ysidro Ranch, and which is, again, a fancy, fancy hotel. And I called my godfather, Bruce, because he lived in Santa Barbara. And I asked him, I said, is this a nice hotel? And he just laughed and laughed and laughed because he's like, Christina, this is the best hotel. So anyway, when they found out I did not have a visa, they said, sorry, we can't hire you, because I was just going to be a receptionist, and that they're a dime a dozen, right? So if you don't bring anything to society, they won't supply you with a visa. So then the creative Christina saw, well, screw that. I'm still going. So I got myself a tourist visa, which you can get for 6 months. So I got a 6 months tourist visa and had a job when I got to Santa Barbara, because Bruce's girlfriend at the time, she actually worked for the Chamber of Commerce and knew a guy who was the producer for a children's TV show. So here I am, all of a sudden I become a production manager for a children's TV show in Santa Barbara.
Oh my gosh.
On a tourist visa. So here I am organizing sites, continuity for the TV shows. I was casting, I was payroll, I was catering, I was the animal wrangler.
Wow.
It was a show called Critter Getters. And Critter Getters was about 3 kids and a veterinarian and a chimpanzee, Angel. So Angel was the chimpanzee, and we did some fun episodes with bullfrogs. And oh gosh, one time we had a goat, and the goat had to be a female goat. And we didn't have a female goat. We had a male goat. So we had to tape his balls. We had to tape his balls so that his balls wouldn't be in the shot. Oh my gosh, it was wild times. But because of that, what did I do? I did that for quite a while. Loved it. Had a great time. And then in the meantime there, I had a boyfriend that was a bad egg. Was not great. But anyway, all of a sudden, so I think they just shut down. Actually, they stopped producing. I think that's why I didn't have a job anymore. And then I actually shoveled horse poop for Michael Douglas's ex-wife, Deandra Douglas. She had a saddlebred barn, so I was shoveling horse shit there 7 days a week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And that's how I got into saddlebreds, horses, which is a crazy.
That is a weird. I don't know if I could ever get into saddle.
I was not a fan. No, I was not a fan. The horses themselves, I mean, they're most beautiful horses, but the way that they make these
they're trained is
not great.
No.
But I had a job and it was great, and I met some great people and I got some great experience. But then I became through friends, I became a manager for 3 hair salons. So I ran 3 hair salons for I
didn't know this either.
For a German guy, Hans. Oh gosh, he was a Vela instructor.
Oh.
And he had been around. He was like the hairdresser for the stars for many years.
I have a new, I shouldn't say.
I know, you told me that. I'm
Swedish
so
hairdresser.
excited.
Yeah, he also uses, I thought of him because you said Vela, and he uses Vela.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you and Mia look great when you came out of there. That's awesome. Yeah. Does he speak Swedish?
Yeah, David.
Nice.
His name is David. Yeah, great guy.
Pitch David.
I know.
Awesome. I love it.
It's not David. He's David.
David. I like it.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I did that for a while, and then the gentleman that ran the Critter Getter show, the producer Greg, his boyfriend Miguel was a faux painter, so he did faux work.
Oh yeah, I remember this era when everybody was doing faux painting. Yeah.
Right. So he was doing murals and faux work, and he was approached by Delta Downs racetrack in Louisiana they were building the first casino on land in Louisiana attached to Delta Downs racetrack. So Greg asked me if I could be the project manager and managing people and stuff like that. So all of a sudden I'm moving from Santa Barbara to the hot and sweaty armpit of America called Vinton, Louisiana, which is right across the border from Orange, Texas. And we lived in a motel and it was hotter than hell. And I helped design the casino.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I got to ride a $2 million stallion, a racehorse around the racetrack. It was insane. I've never done that ever since. I did it once and that's it. And of course, I rescued animals along the way. I found kittens and puppies. And, Louisiana is a bit weird when it comes to the way they take care of their animals. And there was roadkill everywhere or road accidents everywhere. So I had my hotel room full of puppies and kittens and armadillos.
I had no idea about any of this. And then how did you get back to, because you went back to California at some point, right?
Right. So after that, no. So I thought, after Louisiana, again, the boyfriend that was a bad egg, he followed because he was also a painter. So he actually followed. And then we just broke up. And I said, well, I'm moving back to Sweden. So I was basically went home to Sweden and said, I'm moving back. But Sweden is not my cup of tea. I'm too loud for Sweden. So I really didn't fit in. So I went back and then I went back to Santa Barbara. And that's when I started my own concierge service. Because again, here I am on a tourist visa, not legal.
Yeah.
I worked the system. I did get a social security number, which was crazy because nowadays you could not have gotten yourself a social. But I got myself a social security number because I needed a driver's license. And for whatever reason.
Did you just make one up?
No, I went and applied.
Oh.
I got a social security. Yeah, they gave it to me. And I remember I was standing on the square in Santa Barbara. And when I walked out of the Social Security Administration office and I got my social security number and I called my mom on my cell phone, because I was brand new having a cell phone. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs because having a social as an illegal was insane. And I still have that social security.
That's a weird loophole. I don't even know how you, and so you have the same number?
Yeah, it's the same number. And the way that a loophole is because I needed a driver's license. And to be able to drive in the US, you had to have I only had a 6 months tourist visa, but you can only drive for 3 months. So on a Swedish driver's license. So I went to the DMV and they said, well, if you go and apply for a social security number, we can give you a American driver's license.
That's so weird. I had an American driver's license when I lived in Orlando for a year.
Yep. But did you go and apply for a social security number?
No.
Well, but you were there for a year and you were there
under
legally.
Disney. I was there legally.
Through Disney. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, so I did that. And then, so then what did I do then? Oh yeah. So I started my concierge service, and through my concierge service, I met some great people. And then I was hired to become the executive assistant to the owner of a bond management company, STW, in Santa Barbara. And Billy was my boss, and he was, oh my gosh, the man was a gazillionaire and he drove a Volvo. He was just the most mellow, laid back, genius man that I've ever met. And so I worked at STW for quite a few years, and they even got me an actual visa, a work visa. So I was legal when I worked with them, which was great. And then I got the way I met Jeff is because STW gave us a Christmas bonus. And I thought, because my first car was a little Rabbit convertible that I bought for $500. It had 4 flat tires and the key was broken off in the ignition and it needed some work. And I found this amazing, oh my God, he was so funny. The mechanic, he always joked at me because he says, Christina, your car is put together with bubble gum and Band-Aid because I was so broke. So I said, just do the minimum to make sure that the car runs, right? But anyway, so I got this Christmas bonus and I bought a used VW Golf.
Volkswagen, yeah.
Volkswagen Golf. Yeah. And I had some problems with it. It smelled like gas and blah, blah, blah. So I brought it into the service department. And there is this man who's standing there with his big blue eyes, the kindest eyes I had ever laid my eyes on. And he was so sweet and so nice. And I was a pain in the ass customer. I really was. And I thought, I really like this guy because all my other boyfriends are either dead or in jail or assholes. So I thought maybe there should be a shift in my MO of finding a boyfriend. So my mutual friend at the time, Charm, knew Jeff because she had a Beetle, and so she knew him from work, from service. And so she called him and asked if he was single. And he goes, why are you asking me out? And she goes, no, not me, but someone else is. So she set us up, and actually Jeff called me at work, and I was so nervous.
Did he know? Wait, did he know that it was for you? Like, did he know who you was? Like, who you was?
No, he'd never met me. No, she just said, "Hey, I have a friend who thinks you're nice or cute," and he's obviously met me, but
right, but he didn't know that it was you. Yeah.
No, so he called me, and at the time, I still had the bad egg living at my house.
Oh God.
So yeah, so it was bad. But anyway, so I played that game. So he's like, "Oh, I can come and pick you up." I'm like, "No, I'll come and pick you up because I want to drive my new car." So finally, I had to sit down and tell him, and I said, "I have something bad I have to tell you." And he goes, "What? You have 5 kids and you're married?" And I said, "No, but I have a boyfriend that's living at home." He goes, "Well, when you're ready to get rid of him, I will be here," is what Jeff's word to me. And I thought, what a guy. So I kicked the other guy out, and I told Jeff, I said, "The guy's out and I would love to date you." And he goes, "Great." And he proposed to me. Gosh, he proposed to me 3 months in. And then 5 months later, we got married.
Aww.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What year was that?
Oh God, I knew you were going to ask me. 2002, I think it was. 2002. Is it 2002? August 2024. Jeff and I are so bad. We're so bad. We have to look at Facebook to remember when our anniversary is. Because we did it one year, and I wished Jeff happy anniversary, and he wished me happy anniversary. And my mom called. She goes, "Your wedding anniversary is not until 4 days from now." So it's either August 24 or August 28. But yeah, we've been married for, I think we're going on 24 years this year. We lose track. It's good. Yeah. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got married in Vegas. We had package A for $79.99. And it was the best wedding because everyone just paid for themselves, because after the wedding, we went to Rio and we had all you can eat seafood buffet, and we had to stand in line, and you have that the turn to get into when you go on a ride. So kind of like you have to give them your ticket to get in.
Yeah.
And so we had all family was there, and my mom was there. My dad sadly couldn't be there because my grandma passed away. So he was at home in Sweden taking care of grandma's funeral and stuff like that. But mom was there. She was my maid of honor, and we had a blast getting ready. And I actually wore an actual wedding dress, even if it was in Vegas, but we had a blast. So,
wow.
So we did that, and then still lived in Santa Barbara, and then realized, what did I do then? Oh, then I obviously I got married, and you get a work visa because you're married to an American, but it takes a while. So I was actually sitting at home for a while until my visa came in place, and I was watching cooking shows, and we were on a budget. So I was cooking every day, and I cooked so much quiche with broccoli and mushrooms that Jeff today hates broccoli and mushrooms because I cooked so much of it. But anyway, so then I got my visa, and then I did some, again, marketing research, companies, network marketing. I started doing network marketing because, talking to people is what I do. And then we decided, hey, we should buy a house, and buying a house in Santa Barbara as first-time home buyers is kind of hard. So we decided, hey, we should look around. So we looked in Vegas, so we looked in Arizona, and we finally found a house, actually not a house, but a place. Actually, backwards, we found jobs before we found our homes. So I went on Craigslist, and that's how I found Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, that job, which is crazy. If you think about it, they posted an ad on Craigslist.
That is so quaint now.
Right? I mean, that wouldn't happen today, I think.
Nope.
No. So I interviewed with Kim and Roberts and their old assistant, Robin. And I was with them for 16 years, and it was a good 16 years. And so we obviously moved from Santa Barbara to Phoenix. and lived in apartments until we knew where we wanted to live. And then we lived in a townhouse, and then we kept the townhouse and bought the townhouse at the same time as we bought our dream home. We loved our home in Phoenix. It was, too many people, too hot. And, yeah. So, and then after 16 years, I thought, you know what? I need to trade in one crazy for another crazy. So change of scenery. So then I bumped around a little bit. I worked for our darling friend, Kim Dalton. I worked for her for a while as her office manager, which wasn't my cup of tea, because you kind of clock in at 6:30 in the morning, you clock out at 5:30.
Yeah.
And I was at a desk, and she knew, we both knew after a couple of months. I'm like, this is not for me. And I'm still dear friends with her today, thank God.
Yeah.
But then I worked for a lady who ran a bank in Tucson, and I was her personal assistant. And that was fun for a while, but then I ended up being more of a nanny and a chauffeur for her daughter. And that's really not I don't have children for a reason. And my clients are my children. So I did that for a while. And then I said, no, the biggest job as a personal assistant is to tell the person you work for that they don't need a personal assistant. And she really didn't need a personal assistant. She needed an executive assistant sitting at a desk at a bank, and she needed a nanny. And that wasn't me. So, and then I did a stint with our friend Ken McElroy, and I ran The Collective, which is a mastermind group of some amazing human beings that I'm still in touch with today. I loved doing that. So I was doing event manager and created some fun events around the country, and one in Mexico, and that was a lot of fun. And then I was offered a job as the personal assistant to the owners of the Diamondbacks, Randy and Ken Kendrick. Amazing human beings, just salt of the earth people, and their team around them, their household team around them. I worked with them, and it was awesome. I loved it. A bit different because I was more, what would we call it, desk ridden that I usually were, in my personal assistant job. But then all of a sudden, my mom sadly passed away in June of 2023, and that rocked my world. That threw my world upside down. And it was just, I just thought about, why are we living in a place that we hate? And, it's hot, and I mean, you're still there. And I'm sorry, I'm talking bad about Phoenix, but you're sorry, but we hated it.
Don't be sorry. This is your story.
Right. I mean, right. But, so I said to Jeff, and at the time then I was approached by Greg and Rhonda, who I worked for. They asked me if I could help them be their PA. So I worked with them remotely here or in Phoenix, and they were here in Wyoming. And then I said to Jeff, we're moving to Wyoming. So we moved to Wyoming, and because of Greg and Rhonda Jaggers, the incredible people. And that was, a year and a half ago. And I'm glad we did. Mom was the catalyst for us moving. So I'm very grateful for my mom steering me in that direction, even if it was because she passed away. I wish she was here and could see it all and, be part of it. And everyone keeps telling me she is watching me, and I'm sure hope so. And then April, as if you guys have listened to the past podcast, I lost my job and I was let go in April from Greg and Rhonda. And I really didn't understand why. And I'm still not 100% sure why, but I think more things have come to light. And I think I understand it better now, because Greg recently, now I'm going to cry, recently passed away. He was a year younger than me. And so I think that they knew by the time they let me go that, sorry, why am I sorry? I'm not sorry. I think they let me go because I realized Greg was ill and they needed to focus on him, and that's something here.
They needed to pivot. Yep.
They needed to pivot. And I've told you this a million times. I so wish they would have told me, because I wouldn't have been upset and I would have understood, and I possibly could have helped them if they wanted me to help them. But it was a very, very aggressive, apparently a very, very aggressive pancreatic cancer. So we lost Greg just a couple of days ago. And so Now I think I understand more why they let me go. And I'm hoping Rhonda will come back so I can help her, whatever she needs to do, and settle here. If she decides to stay, great. And if she doesn't, then I'll help her transition to whatever needs to happen. And so next week, I'm going to Sacramento to attend his celebration of life, which makes me happy because I feel I can close the loop with Greg, because I never got to hug him before they let me go. Now, even if I didn't know, I'm a very personal person, and I was very, very close to them. So I get to say goodbye to Greg.
Yeah.
And see Rhonda, of course. So that's where I'm at. That's basically my life, from born in Skanala, Sweden, to being in beautiful Bedford, Wyoming. And I think I talked about this a couple episodes ago, that I'm back now working with Kim on a part-time basis, and I'm loving it. It just feels like I'm full circle. I'm coming home, and I'm really enjoying working with you. I get to work with you a lot more, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
I get to work with the Rich Dad, whoever is left of the Rich Dad team. I get to work with them and interact with some people that I haven't talked to in years and years. And so I'm in the right place at the right time. And I just wish it was kind of different circumstances. I wish Greg was still here with us. And obviously anytime you lose someone, you wish that. But, and the thing with my mom, I always said, I wish I had 5 more minutes. And with Greg, it's the same thing. I wish I just had 5 more minutes. So, but that's me in a nutshell. That's Christina Ingeman's daughter. And I'm a happy Swede living in a beautiful place. And I'd love to move back to Sweden one day, but for now it's here.
Do you think you could? Do you think you would? Do you think you would enjoy living in Sweden now?
I think I would. I really do. And it would be probably at a point where I would not be working, meaning I would retire in Sweden. I have played with the idea when I was home in Sweden just, a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was. I looked on LinkedIn just for personal assistant jobs. And there are jobs that are, at the caliber that I am at in Copenhagen, which is not bad. I mean, that's a quick commute back and forth between, wherever I'm, Malmo or Skanala or Falsterbo and Copenhagen. So there are possibilities out there. And I don't have to live in Skåne. I can live in Småland or, Norrland or north of Sweden or middle of Sweden, or, as long I want rural, I want farm land, I want no neighbors, kind of like we have here. So
yeah, you wouldn't want to live in like Stockholm or Gothenburg or no. Yeah, no, I can't see that.
No, it's not really me. So we'll see. But Jeff is working hard at his job. He's doing great. He's so appreciated by his people that hired him, and they see the potential that he is and what he can do. So he's in a good spot. And like I said, I work with Kim, and I'm enjoying that. And hopefully it will transition to something full time. And yeah, so there you have it. That's me. Do you have any questions?
No, I just love you, and I love the story. It's great. Thanks for sharing.
No,
the messiness of being human.
I know, right? It is the messiness of being human. And I've been very fortunate to have not experienced grief too much. I have to tell you that I've been very lucky that I haven't experienced too much grief. I've just had a couple of big doozies. My mom was my biggest doozy, and now Greg is my second big doozy. So, but I guess it just, what doesn't break you makes you stronger. And I shouldn't say I can learn from it, but it just makes you realize, and kind of, and not realize maybe, but maybe it makes you view your life where you're at, and who you surround yourself with, and what things you take on, and bullshit that is bullshit. God, Mom always said, God gave you 2 ears, goes in now one and out the other. And as you get older and wiser, I guess you can call it, and things throw you for a loop, it just makes you look at life differently and appreciate the small things in life. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at least I think so. So anyway, yeah.
Well said. I think that
So
that sums it up.
Since we still have time, how are you doing? What's happening with you in your world? You're getting ready to leave for Sweden tomorrow. I am so excited for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am wrapping up another week. It's been it's been a full week. And
very cryptic. I like it.
Mm-hmm. It's been, a lot.
Yeah.
But it's good. At the end of the day, it's good. And I think like you were alluding to earlier, even when bad things happen, you can take away whatever you want to take away, right? You get to kind of figure out what you want to do with that, how you're going to handle that. Yep. And it's just one foot in front of the other. You just keep marching on. But I am looking forward to marching into some Swedish territory.
Yeah.
With some good Swedish food. Yeah. I don't know what the weather's with fika, a little bit of hopefully cooler weather, although I hear it's very hot right now in the Stockholm area where I'm going to be at.
Yep. Not as hot as it is in Phoenix, though. It's a different kind of hot.
Right. But, they don't have air conditioning necessarily. Right. So it hits you in a different way. It's not like you can, it's just.
Turn the AC on. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, so, I'll be bringing work with me, of course.
Yeah.
But.
Are you bringing a bathing suit?
I hadn't even thought of that. I haven't packed yet.
Well, of course you haven't. But that's okay. But make sure you bring a bathing suit, because if you don't put your body into Stockholm skärgård, then I will strangle you. You have to jump into the water.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
You have to.
I'm trying to. Yeah.
I would like to do that. So you have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to show your son the archipelagos and just the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And
for sure, we're going to hit up some water. We're going to, we're going to do the, what do you call it? The archipelago.
Yep.
Either by boat or by go visiting somebody, or, we're going to do something like that. So that'll probably be, I'm guessing either maybe Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
And then we have plans for a couple of dinners with people we know. And I'm tired. I just realized I'm just like, I've been sitting here and I'm always enjoying talking to you, but I'm just.
Oh, you've been listening. Sorry. I've been babbling along.
No, I love it. No, I love it. I love life stories so much. Like wouldn't it be great to have like a coffee table book with just, various life stories, great pictures and.
Yeah. So to that point, I would just want to, I know I've been talking to you about Mr. Mike, Dr. T.
Yeah.
84 years old. And oh my gosh.
He is Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah. He really is, because he's a veterinarian.
You're talking about you being Doolittle as a kid. Yeah.
But he is so cool. I just adore him. And he's, it's like I met him for Thanksgiving last year through a mutual friend of ours, the lady who I was going to buy my horse from, or the horse from, that I decided not to, but I became good friends with her. We went to Thanksgiving with her, and he was at this Thanksgiving dinner. It was a community dinner, and we got chatting, and it was great, but it wasn't really any more than that. And then we went to the celebration of life of Terry, the lady who owned Frank the horse that passed away, and we got talking, and he's like, well, you have to come and see my horses, and you have to come and see my chickens, and come and meet my dogs. And then he tells Jeff, come and see my tractor. I have a really nice tractor. And Jeff
just wanted to get you over there. Like, come and see something.
We're going.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. But speaking of life stories, I mean, he's just got 84 years old. You have some incredible life stories, and good, bad, and ugly, Mm-hmm. So I agree with you. That should be a coffee table book.
Yeah.
So when does Charlie actually go to this camp? What day does he go?
July 27th is when I drop him. Yeah.
Oh, so you have quite a few days together, just you and him and friends and family around you before he has to go.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is anyone picking him up, or no? He's flying home by himself, right?
So he's flying home by himself.
Good job.
So that's
Did you got that all figured out?
pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a
Pretty
little,
much.
well, no, I mean, we've got it all figured out. I just kind of want to figure out how he's going to, I don't know, it's just kind of being the mother of an 18-year-old. I'm like, how he's going to wrap up, because this is what you have to do in true Swedish style. The little room that you have in your dorm kind of thing, you have to clean.
Oh,
So like that, you have to vacuum it and like kind of empty it all out, right?
Yep.
And pack up his stuff and check out. And then he has to get himself from Uppsala to Arlanda.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
hopefully he will meet someone at camp that has to do the same trip and he can go with them.
Yeah.
He can't be the only American there, is he?
I don't know. But I don't know.
They don't provide a service to get the kids back to the airport?
No.
That's interesting.
So he's going to have to take the train so we're going to have to figure it out. So I'm going to kind of backtrack it with him. Once we get to Uppsala, we'll have a little more time. And I also have to help figure out, like, you have to bring your own sheets and towels and stuff. So we'll probably either stop at some store and pick that up or, and then he can either just toss it or donate it.
Coming in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Speaking of
they don't surprised they don't offer transportation back to the airport. That surprises me, actually.
So this reminds me of another funny camp story. So, Vivi is at horse camp in California.
Yes. In where?
In the Malibu area at Foxfield Farms. Yeah.
Fancy.
Very fancy. And I can't. So it was a crazy day when we got in the car. What was it, last Sunday? With another family that was also whose daughter was going to Foxfield Farm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So it was super fun. So the two moms and the two girls in the back, we got in a rental. There was so much stuff. They had so much stuff with them because they, bags and saddles. And these days when you go to camp, you kind of, you buy like the egg crate mattress toppers. This is kind of where I'm getting at. This is part of the story. It's so weird. If everybody buys an egg crate mattress topper for their kid, like, I don't know, like what can you just donate it? Like how many egg crate mattress toppers are you?
Well, I guess there's a market for it. Someone tapped that market, that's for sure.
Yeah. So we drove over there, dropped the girls, turned right back around, went to Burbank Airport, hopped on a plane, flew home because Mia had her stem cell treatment the next day.
Right.
So there was a lot going on. It was a long day. But it was a good day. And then fast forward, some of the moms. So technically, if you haven't heard from your kid, they're doing great, right? That's kind of like the ideal scenario. If they need to call, they can. But but there'd been a couple of distress calls to parents for more snacks. So
what? That's the distress call. Oh my God. These youths today, I tell you.
I know. So they're like, I need to call my mom. Okay. Yeah. And then the call is, hey mom. Yeah, we're doing great. Please send more snacks. So
oh my gosh. Seriously? That's hilarious.
Then you go on Amazon and then you buy like a big snack basket and deliver it over to Foxfield Farms in Malibu. I'm like, wow.
That's funny.
Camp is
But you
changed.
haven't had a call from Viv?
No, I haven't. But she would also, Vivi, her nickname is Vivi I'm Fine Fouts because she's always fine. I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm fine. So she's Vivi I'm Fine Fouts. Okay. That's her horseback riding trainer. That's what we joke. That's her her nickname. But I knew she would never request anything, so I hopped on Amazon and sent some stuff. Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, that was nice of you. That's awesome.
Just for fun.
I can't wait for her to come back and tell you. So are you picking her up or is she?
I'm going to miss it. I'm bummed.
Because you're in Sweden. Of course you are.
Yep. I'm going to miss pickup, which is kind of a big deal according to other families or other parents, not according to Vivi because she's I'm Fine Fouts. Right. Yeah. But so that's a big pickup is basically a day where parents come in, they do like a horse show, and then they do a dinner with like a little award ceremony of some sort.
Okay.
And then you take your kid and go and
okay.
So
But make sure someone films or something.
oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
You know, she's got her cousin there. So her parents will be there. And then also, you know, baby's dad is going. So he'll
Oh, so he's going to pick her up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So he can film too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So she does have someone representing the family.
Oh, for sure. For
okay,
sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I think they're going to drive home, and I imagine she'll probably sleep the whole way.
Right. She'll be petered out for sure.
I mean, anybody
when do kids go back to school?
They go back early August. And then the mom and I, the other mom who was driving down to California with me, we were like, okay, can we do this? Can there be like a mom camp? You know,
they're in Spain.
Oh, well, and we are setting one up at this farm or at this camp. We're like, this is perfect. This would be so great. Can we create one for fall break? And we don't necessarily need to stay here in these cute little cabins. We'll just go stay at the Four Seasons down the street. But we want to come in during the day.
Hey, sign me up.
Yeah. 3-4 days. Are you in?
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. That would be so fun.
All right.
That'd be so fun.
Here we go.
That'd be so fun.
But that's what I have going on. So, you know, I think we should wrap it up.
Have an amazing time.
Yeah.
You know, if you need anything here in the U.S., whatever, you know, you can always reach out to me. Or if you just want to say hi, say hi. Just a phone call away.
Thank you.
So, cool.
You're always...
So when are we back on? So we are going to, I don't know when we're going to record next then. When you're back.
We'll figure it out. I'm back on August 2nd.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So we'll just do that. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I appreciate all our listeners today for listening to my story and rambling on here today and crying in the middle of everything. It just shows you we're human. And
in case you were wondering. Yep.
Right.
Blood.
We are human. We're not AI.
Mere mortals. Yeah.
We're not AI. Exactly.
I'm tapping my veins just to show you I have blood running through my veins.
There you go.
No.
You can fake that too, I'm sure.
We appreciate everybody listening, and we'll see you here next time.
Go and check us out on Instagram because I still haven't seen anyone comment or ask any questions on Insta or Facebook. So give us some feedback.
Even an insult at this point would be good. No, please no insults.
Oh, if they want to give us an insult, you know what? What is it called? Insult is the best kind of flattery or whatever it's called. Isn't there a saying like
something like that?
I think there is. So insult the way if you want to. But thanks for listening to Sweets on the Loose, Sandra. We will see you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Hey, doll.
Hey, doll.